Hey everybody, Ian Isbell here, Benchmark Realty, Team Rockensock, Eddie Rockensock with me. Just wanted to get out there in front of all of this noise that's going around regarding the Mount Juliet city tax increase. We've been proposed. We've been seeing a lot of stuff about that and trying to keep up with all of it. A little bit baffling, especially some of the comments made. Sounds like a lot of people don't understand what this looks like. So we're going to break down all of Wilson County tax and kind of show you how that is assessed, what values those are assessed off of, so that you have a better kind of recollection of what is actually potentially coming our way. So, yeah. Eddie, tell us a little bit about this.
Sure. So we got this here. Don't pay attention to everything up here.
Or the spelling.
We'll go through this individually so that you'll understand. But here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to understand who is affected and what is affected by the proposed tax rate, right? So currently, Mount Juliet's current tax rate is 0.11
for the city.
For the city tax rate, right? What the proposed is now 0.44. I think it started at 0.54, then Mayor Manis dropped it down to a proposed. So that went past last Monday night for the first reading. It still has to be read this coming Monday night. So everything that we want to talk about now is kind of off of that current tax rate and what will happen. What we want to do is we could put the rest of this up to show you the difference in other cities and other Wilson County, Davidson County, compared to Mount Juliet's tax rate. All right, you want to take those?
Yeah, so currently the Wilson County rate, so if you live in Wilson County, whether that's Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Watertown, any other unincorporated area, your tax rate for county is 1.9089, meaning for every, we'll go through the assessment in a minute because that's a bigger picture.
Well, and one thing we forgot to say is this is our property tax. This is not sales tax. This is
correct.
Just
property county or property tax rate in the county is 1.9089. If you live in Lebanon city special school districts, you have two extra taxes here. Watertown, same over there. You got a city tax down there, and we'll break these down in just a second. And Mount Juliet, so like I live in the county, in Wilson County, in Mount Juliet. Eddie lives in the city. So we're going to pull some of those tax cards up on the screen for you so you can see exactly what those tax cards look like if you're in the county versus if you're in the city. But Davidson County tax rate is 2.9 for property tax. So Eddie, tell us about the assessment. How am I assessed on that?
Sure. So the way the Wilson County works is, let's say that your tax appraisal is $400,000. Okay. They take 25% of that. So that would equal $100,000. Does that make sense? We'll bring up some cards to show that a little bit more. All right. So this is assessed off of that total assessed price, right? So divided by 100 basically is 1,000. So if you're inside the city, your 0.11 is off of that total assessment. So your total city tax is $110. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Under the new proposed, if your appraisal was $400,000, under the new proposed, it's 44 cents. So your new tax bill will be $440. So it is 4 times more, right? But what we've been hearing in a lot of the comments is people think it's that full tax rate, your full county plus city or special district is going to be 4 times, right? So I think for me personally, I think I pay around $3,000 in total property tax. My $3,000 is not going to be 4 times. It's just my 0.11 cents in my city
rate, which I think it's very important to look at. No one likes a tax increase. No one. I don't care how much it is. 400% sounds crazy. I see people posting online, my taxes are $3,000. That means I'm going to have to pay $12,000 now. Like, no, stop posting that. That's not correct. It's just the city. My taxes are $1,200 on my property in North Mount Juliet. After this change, they're going to be $1,200 still because I'm not in the city. So this tax doesn't apply to me at all. And we'll show you on the tax cards kind of how that looks. If I was in the city of Lebanon and that changed and that went up, I have rental properties in Lebanon that would take effect on. My current property in Mount Juliet, though, this has no effect. Eddie's, however, does have an effect. His will go from 100 and we're going to pull the tax card up in a minute and show you the exact math on that. But I think it's very important to realize that even at the 0.44, we're still 20 cents under Watertown, roughly, and we're still what,
24 cents.
24 cents under Lebanon. So I mean, you're still one of the lower proposed in the cities for Lebanon and Watertown as well. So, moral of the story here: take your tax rate for the county, add it to these. So if you live in Lebanon City and you're paying Lebanon City tax, Lebanon Special School District tax, that's what the SSD is, Special School District tax, and the county rate, you're at a 2.89 tax rate on that assessed value, which puts you to that math. So you could multiply, in this bottom example, that $1,000 by this 2.89, and it would give you what your tax ramification was in total. City of Mount Juliet, if you live in the city, if you live just in the county, that's your rate. That's all you pay. If you live in the city, if you go to the proposed rate, this is what you're currently at the 0.11 cents, the 11 cents. Your total rate is 2.01. If it goes to the 0.44, your total rate becomes 2.34. So again, the only thing changing is that city tax. Watertown, same thing. If you're in the county, 1.908. If you're in the city, it's 2.51 because you add the 0.60 to the 1.90.
So we know all this is confusing. That's why there's
data.
so much stuff that's out here. So let's bring up the actual tax cards taken from Wilson County property. So the very first one that we have is a property that is just in the county. In nothing that is proposed will change that tax rate, right? So you can see the total tax appraisal. We'll have an arrow on this, so hopefully it does show.
Yeah, sheet will be on your screen.
Yeah, 490,000. So your total assessment, right? So 490 would have been here, our tax appraisal. Our total assessment was actually $122,550 times this county rate, because they're in the county, not the city. So their total taxes is $2,339. Nothing with this new proposal will change this tax card because it is just in the county.
Yep. And this tax card is a Mount Juliet address, not in the city.
That's right.
So when you're looking at this, you'll see the previous years on the sheet that's on your screen that shows you the tax years, city taxes, county taxes, special school district taxes, then your total. Obviously, if you're in Lebanon, Lebanon's the only place in Wilson County that has the special school district tax. If you're in Lebanon and you're in that special school district tax, you'll see dollar amounts in the SSD taxes bracket. If you live in the city, you'll see dollar amounts in the city taxes. You'll also see at the top of the page under the tax assessment, different jurisdictions and the rates. So this first card that we have on your screen currently, you'll just see the Wilson, the 1.9089. So that shows you all the values you see on the board at that tax rate.
Perfect.
What sheet do we have next?
Yeah, next card is actually going to spell out a little bit more of what he was talking about. So this one has a total tax appraisal of $449,800. Take that 25%, your total assessment is $112,450. All right, so this one's in the city of Lebanon and the special school district. So you'll see underneath those assessments on that card, the city tax was $770. The county tax is $2146, and that special school district was $334. So their total tax is that $3251 there. So you can kind of see how that's broken down by each one of these tax codes to get that total tax.
Yep. And again, you'll see in that tax assessment block on the top of the page on your screen, the jurisdiction and the rate. So it shows you what those are and why and what the cost is on those three at that rate of the total assessed value.
So the last one is my house, my current house, right? So I live inside the city. This proposal will affect me, but what you have up there is actually our 2024 tax assessment. So what our current is right here. So this house is total tax appraisal was $619,000 with here, but my assessed price is $154,000, right? So we take that $154,000 times our current rate. I pay $170 a year in city taxes, right? You can see my county taxes on there and my total for 2024. So if all of this gets proposed, right? All that what's proposed gets passed, I should say. My $170 city tax is going to go up to $681. So the difference, that's the only difference in what my current tax rate will be if this proposed budget goes through.
Yeah, so now that means is on the same thing, card on your screen, tax assessment, under that portion, you'll see the 0.11 for the Mount Juliet tax. That'll go to 0.44. And again, the only thing that changes, so on this card, that county tax amount will stay the exact same.
That's right.
The city tax will be what changes and makes up the difference on that 0.44. So you're going to see that go up, which then will make, obviously, the total amount of taxes owed increase. We've obviously thrown a whole lot of information at you here. If you're worried about this, concerned about this, have more follow-up questions, never hesitate to call us. We're very easy to find. Contact information will actually be on the screen here in front of you. Anything else to add?
Yeah, please reach out if you have questions, especially before the 23rd, right? A week from now is when the second reading for this budget will happen. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. Reach out to your commissioners, right? That's what the local municipalities are for. That's what you guys voted them in for. Well, maybe not you, but people inside the city. So.
Very cool. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call.
Thanks, guys.